Good evening, folks. This is Wednesday evening. It's 29th of July. It's just coming up to 7 o'clock. The Fed are about to meet. Well, I'm doing the video. I'm going to do this video on the US dollar and the Great British Pound. And what we're seeing. This is the free ebook you can download. There's a link there on the website near the side of the video. You'll be able to download this seasonal patterns ebook. The charts I've been posting are actually on the British pound, but if you look, they're all related to the US dollar. Everything in the book's related to the US dollar, and the dollar index seasonals as well. So if you just scroll down and just have a look at some of these charts, these are charts that have taken 1 year's of data for 30 years, and then put the charts on top of each other and come up with a pretty good average. Listen, they don't work all the time. I've proved that in a previous blog, where sometimes they invert. But this year they seem to be acting pretty well. Now if you look, this is the euro. The euro tends to top right at the beginning of August, and then it tends to fall down into September. This is going back 30 odd years. Okay. If you scroll further down, this is the British pound again against the dollar. The British pound tends to top right at the start of August, and then it tends to fall during August. Okay. Again, this is the longer term, the 20 to 30 year. Again, tops right at the beginning of August, and you see we had a good run. It bottomed in March, absolutely spot on, didn't it? If you read the blog posts and the videos I've already posted, you'll see that we did top. So this year's working right. I also showed in previous years we made a high in March and came down into August, so they can invert. Okay. Well, this year it looks to be following the traditional. So you can see 30 year. The dark is the 20 year. The light one is the 30 year. So they've just taken 1 year 30 times, and this is the sort of average is what it's done. And you can see, so we're right on target again. Don't remember, there's no guarantees, folks. They don't all work, but it's looking good. So what we're doing with the seasonal patterns is we're looking for our chart patterns to complete, and I'm going to go through some chart patterns in a minute. Just scroll down to have a look at a few more. This is a dollar yen. So the dollar yen tends to make a low right about this August, doesn't it? So the dollar yen tends to make a low, and then that tends to rally. Okay. Again, a low in August, and then rallies. So this dollar CAD will probably do something similar. Aussie US dollar, that'll probably make a high right at the beginning of August again. You see the August high on the Aussie. So we're coming to the seasonal time where the dollar starts to strengthen. Scroll down. This is a dollar CAD. Now the dollar CAD's a little bit of a different sort of thing, but we get right in the zone, right end of August, and we start lower. Again, it's not quite as clear cut on the CAD, is it? But just bear that in mind. And then the dollar index. Now again, makes a low right in this zone, August. This is a dollar index. This is a dollar against all the other currencies, okay? So that's the 5, 10, 15. I don't know if they've done the 20 to 30. Yes, they have. Look at this. Again, makes this low down in this area. We tend to bounce sort of into August. So we should be looking at some sort of a high in the British pound and some sort of a low in the dollar. Okay. Now, if you look at some charts, here's the British pound. Now, if you look at this daily chart, you can see we've got a time cycle coming in right at the beginning of first week in August. It comes in. You can see we're rallying beautifully. This was the low we made in March. We've rallied absolutely spot on, and we're coming up. You can see the patterns are starting to complete right up in this area, coming up to the 1.27 expansion, and we're coming into the time zone. There's a possibility we could get to the 786 by this point. If we come down to a 4-hour chart, we're starting to look at actually this is 60-minute. There's a 3 drives pattern looking like it wants to make this 1.27. It'd be rude if it's got to 129.8. It'd be rude if it didn't test 130, wouldn't it? But again, with another ABCD, think the 4 hour shows it better. Here's your 4 hour chart. Another way of looking at time cycles, if you take this line I've got here, not let me do it, so I'll have to draw it in again. If you take the low here, it's having a fit of the funnies, the damn thing does this irregular. It's working, but it's clicked on the wrong. Bit too sensitive, just bear with me, see if I can drag it down. There we go. Right, that's what I wanted to do. Now, it's done it wrong again, hasn't it? There we are. Right. Now, if you take the time between this low to this low, okay, all I've done is done that and then cloned it and projected it from the high here. You can see that in price it's absolutely spot on. In time it's a little bit late. So what we've got is the time between the low to the low and the time between the high to the high. What that's telling you is that this A to B leg is equal to C to D if it hits it in there right at that point. That means it's done the ABCD in price and in time, okay? But you can see it's done it in price, but it's taken a little bit longer in time, okay, to get there. But it's got there, hasn't it? Now, if we look at the time cycles, which we posted on the daily chart, in fact, if I do this same exercise again on the daily, there's the one we're looking for. That's the one we're looking at there. If I can grab that now and project it from there, that was the high we're looking at. We've just hit that high spot on, but it's come in. It's taken a little bit longer in time. Okay. Now, if you notice, this is the high to high cycle, high to high to high, and you see we're making this top right between the two time cycles, aren't we? The time cycle projected from there, and the cycle high. So somewhere in this zone, right, we should see the high in the pound. And we've got everything. We've got time, we've got price, we've got pattern, and we're in the zone. So your risk on this, any move above this 786 is probably telling us we're wrong. And if we're still going higher after this time cycle here, then it's probably telling us that there's more dollar weakness or whatever. But this is the place to be taking a look at, folks, because the ratios are there, beautiful three drives pattern, ABCDs galore, everything's telling us that this is the point to take a look at. But we haven't got a sell signal yet because it's still rising, isn't it? It's still rising. If we zoom in on this 60-minute chart, we're still making higher highs. So what we want to be looking for is the first lower high. So if we make a lower high here and start down, there's your sell, and he stops up above there. You sell at point B and see if it heads lower. But at the moment there's no sell. It's still headed up, isn't it? But as we know, the cycle's not due for a little bit more. The seasonal doesn't come in while the beginning of it. So we've got at least probably 3 or 4 days. Keep an eye on it, and this should be looking good going forward. So if while we're on, let's have a look at one or two of the other dollar pairs. Let's have a look at the euro dollar. That looks like it wants to make the high. That's still heading higher, look. So yeah, and a beautiful ABCD structure coming in here, isn't there? If you take the low we made down here to your high there, that comes in a little bit higher up. So again, that's coming in straight in with your seasonal, isn't it? It'll probably get up to this one. Might just get this 119 area, maybe up another a few more days. So that's the euro. If you look at the Aussie, Aussie dollar, here we are, and again same sort of story, isn't it? We're coming up. So there's another ABCD coming in there. So if we'll probably have to look at this. This is done really. It's bounced really well. I mean, look at the Aussie. How it fell off the screen. And this is actually what the dollar's doing now. The US dollar is dropping more or less like this. And so you can see again the March low, and it's coming up. Now we're coming into the seasonal high. We're just above the 618 here. I might spook one or two, but you know. So I'm just putting this out just to let you know. Let's have a look at the UJ, dollar yen. And we'll look at the dollar CAD as well. Here's the UJ. And you can see this is coming in. This is probably likely to be making a low. If we look at this, beautiful ABCD, but we get a beautiful Gartley pattern right into this cycle low. Like I said, they might not work, folks, but you've got, you know, chance favours the prepared mind. There's your Gartley. We'll probably there's your 786. Look, there's your 707. We might get down one more time, something like that. There's your 707. So we must be getting to a 618. So this is looking like the low will be a Gartley pattern on this, possibly an inverse head and shoulder there as well, isn't there? So let's have a look at the dollar CAD. And again, that's looking like it's making some sort of a low as well, isn't it? So this is what we're seeing. So this seasonal cycle right about now, so could see some sort of a significant low in the US dollar, and the dollar starts to head higher. Pound, the euro, the Aussie start to head lower. So what the other one we went? New Zealand dollar. Let's have a look at that one quickly. Have a look at the New Zealand and see where we're heading. See, that's making a top as well, isn't it? Here's your daily on the New Zealand, so that's coming up into the cycle. So everything's still ugly. 135 pattern. There's not quite the time symmetry, is there? But yeah, we're getting up into an area where we could be finding a little bit of resistance. So keep a close eye on these, folks. It's looking good from a lot of points of view. So it's all about being aware and being prepared to take action when the opportunity arises. So hope this helps you. So take care. If you haven't downloaded your ebook, get it downloaded. Click on the link. It's free. Get it downloaded. You can study it. Some good stuff in there. And then all we do is we put the patterns together, chart patterns together. And you see there's 3 drives to a top pattern there. Look, drive 1, drive 2, because that's gone higher than point X, A, B, C, D. Drive 1, drive 2, drive 3. If that had been down here, it would have been a butterfly. And then you just put your ratios on to see where you are. And you see we're to 1.618. We're getting very close, folks. I think we're getting very close. 618 off a high down here, 1.618. We're getting in the zone for some sort of a high here, I think. So just be prepared to take advantage of it. So I hope this helps. Take care and speak to you soon. Trade safely and bye for now.